What is good? What is good? Welcome to another episode of What About with Pat and Andy. I am not Pat, and he is not Andy. And this episode,
It was good. Just the voice was wrong. I think he nailed the delivery was great. The sound of the delivery was dog shit. But Andy, how you doing?
Anyway, I'm Andy. That's Pat. And we're ready to talk some fucking shit. But before we hop into this, I gotta let you guys know something. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you so fucking much. But you can watch it again or listen to it again soon, because I'm setting up the podcast. I got things set up and in motion. I will be uploading old episodes like every other day, and then we'll be caught up within a week or two. So look out for that. I'll let you know upcoming episodes. But if you're watching this live on Twitch, you can always go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, and you can rewatch all those videos and stuff. Or you could go over to Pat's channel, search Baby Mermaid Productions, and he's got a playlist set up for this. And also he's got some other things. What are some other things you got over there on Baby Mermaid, Patrick?
Well, Andy, I've got GDP Live. Yeah, I don't go live from YouTube anymore, but I do go live, every Monday. Sure, every Wednesday. And also Fridays, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can join in live on Facebook at the Gross Domesticated Podcast page. Go ahead and like that, review it if you'd like. Also, go to Instagram.
Check that out right away if you want.
If you want to go to Instagram, and you can pound off live or ask to join, which is essentially just calling in because I erased that video at the end. So your audio only is going to be included on that YouTube as well as the Facebook video. And well, if you're there on Baby Mermaid Productions page already on YouTube, why not go ahead and stop off and check out Hacks? That's got golf. That's got comedy. If you want to check out wrestling, sure, there's comedy with wrestling as well. That's with Manny and Youngblood. This Falls Count Anywhere. You can watch that. Or you can check out Proper Ebonics. Those last two that I mentioned, you can get audio-only versions anywhere you get your podcast too. So, there's more, but I'm not going to waste your time.
Fuck yeah. You can see our social media on screen. So go follow us there and stay updated, because we always do bonus episodes. Not always, but we do bonus episodes sometimes during the week where we have guests. We just did one with Jason Simpson in our ever expanding Taking Back Sunday full discography series. We did Where Do You Want to Be? But yeah, so today we got a special episode, changing it up a little bit, because last week we did the great Dave Grohl debate, and we've been sort of taking a break on doing actual albums and shit. And now, as you can see by the screen you've been looking at for the past 3 minutes, if you're rewatching this on YouTube, we are today talking about our personal top 5 favorite pop punk songs.
We made playlists.
What?
We made playlists.
We made fucking playlists.
That
we figured out which songs make us feel stuff, and we sent them to each other.
Like it.
And I have been bombarding Pat with nudes. It's been aggressive. What I've been doing is technically illegal.
Honestly, though, I'm into it. And you know what? Like, I never knew it was a fantasy of mine, but Andy being covered in an avalanche of dicks, pics or not.
Dude, it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny if you got those pictures like in front of your wife, and you're like, "Oh my god, Andy, sending me these dick pics, fuck!" And then when she like walks away, you kind of like to yourself, you're like, "Andy's got a nice cock." I didn't even.
Andy, this is your dick?
It is.
Wow.
Is this all you, bro?
Wow, dude, this is not angles. I can tell. I know what angles look like.
Andy, I'm aggressively straight, but that's a nice fucking cock. Anyway, so
now I will say didn't our last episode we agreed that we were if I don't know if this was on the show or not, but if anything did happen to either one of our wives, I think we did have a marriage pact with each other, right?
To fuck each other?
Okay, again, it would just be for I thought for companionship at first, and we would see where it went, but you know it's gonna go there. We need a whole.
That was the joke I always defended Bill Engvall over, because like that's the common, all the basic thing we all agree on is blue collar comedy tour. Besides Ron White, you have to agree they all fucking stink.
Yeah.
But then Bill Engvall had this joke about like if it wasn't for women, like we'd all just be gay chilling with each other, dude. Like if it wasn't for sex, I I should clarify that. If it wasn't for like sex,
If it
most
wasn't
dudes.
for women, we'd be fucking each other.
Yeah, if women weren't here, we'd be fucking hollowing out
They
some
didn't
butt
stop
cheeks.
spraying us with the hose to stop us. I mean, Jesus Christ, leave us alone.
But no, it's like if it weren't for fucking sex and stuff, we'd be just chilling with our bros.
Yeah, because we're like worst case scenario, then it wouldn't even be a choice. Like I don't even think it would turn into a prison type scenario. I think the prison type scenario is you don't have ready access to porn. And honestly, this is coming from somebody who's never been to prison, but I've seen plenty of documentaries, so I feel very confident about suggesting that just because you don't have access to porn and or privacy, so you can masturbate by yourself, for crying out loud. I feel like it comes out with a lot of aggression where you're just dick seeking holes anywhere you can. You know what I mean?
And I can confirm all this because I've been watching World's Toughest Prisons all week.
We've seen it on TV. We know exactly what it's like. So Andy, just like that, we know a lot about pop and punk, but we like to mix the two because we are fucking white guys with beards. So if you how do you want to do this? Like, do you want to talk about our honorable mentions? You want to
So technically we're doing the top 10 pop punk songs, but these are all our personal top 5. Which, did you find it hard initially?
Yeah, actually it was really weird because I had to narrow it down and I had to really go because you put it a great way, and I don't think you even put it initially when you proposed the playlist episode, but I think there was it's the way they made you feel and or the way that like this made you feel stuff, but not in like a super duper emo way, but this was these particular 5 are your you fucks with the most top 5 pop punk songs that you like. This is quintessential. And I will admit right off the bat that I feel like one of my picks I fucked up, and I think you picked a better version.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because we almost had crossover, and I would say if I were to make an addendum or addendum, what adjustment, if I was gonna addendum this, I would change one of mine to one of yours, and I think we would have 2 crossover.
Interest. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. So we'll get to that because actually that one I was like, you know what? We'll get to that when we get to our list. But no,
I got hot takes too.
No, what?
I got some hot motherfucking takes here too. Look at this. I got a whole page here, and I had to go to the back for just honorable mentions.
You got some jotted down takes. Those are hot. I'm surprised that paper's not fucking smoking right now.
Second piece of paper, Andy. I had to get it down quick. It was like in City Slickers 2, The Hunt for Curly's Gold, when the magnifying glass from the sun catches the map on fire, and they had to copy it real quick before they lost it to the fire.
I'm gonna take your word on that.
Okay, no, watch the movie. Just watch it in.
All right, all streams tonight canceled. I will be watching City Slickers 2. Do I need to see 1 to know what's happening?
Honestly, I would suggest it. So really clear out some time in your calendar. It's snowing a lot here. I don't know about by you, but
it is snowing a lot. Maybe I will have time. Hopefully, Amazon has City Slickers 1, 2. Is there a 3?
Honestly, Andy, if there isn't, let's write it.
All right, podcast canceled.
We are the sons of the City Slickers from the 1 and 2, rebooted into like nowadays, and we don't have any self-service out here, guys.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. There's not to go off on another tangent, but there's so many movies that would be like ruined with cell phones. Mm-hmm. Like my favorite one was Training Day. Like you remember when he fucking parks in the middle of the street and like tells him to smoke the PCP or whatever. And it's like that. You ever notice that scene goes on for a while? Like that'd be all over like World Star and fucking the news and everything. Like,
after the first fucking incident, like the first car ride and the first stop, like fucking what's his name would fucking just take his phone out, hit record, and set it in the door of the car and just start recording him. Like it would just be like over Donald Sterling style in no time.
Oh yeah, with cell phones, fucking that movie would be 5 minutes long.
Like smoke this meth, and it'd be like, nah, and then cut to the news report that night, and that's just some of the video that has been released. Smoke this meth, motherfucker.
He's like, can you say that again? Yeah. He's like, wait, what does King Kong not have on you? All right, so let's hop into this. Let's talk about some pop punk. And I think I was saying before, like your decision making process, because it wasn't hard for me to pick songs.
Right.
It was hard for me to whittle songs down to five, because five of your favorite like songs is not that until you have to actually decide. It doesn't seem like that small. So let's go through some of the honorable mentions, because for me there were a couple that I actually wanted to bring up, because I thought they had, while they weren't in the top five, I still thought they were like had some good significance. So, do you want to go, or I'll start? I don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, no. So the first one I really wanted to bring up, actually two that were really big for me, were one I was not thinking of until, shouts out to past guest John Montag. He posted on, I was like asking people what their favorite pop punk songs, and he commented, and he said, "Dear Maria, Count Me In" by All Time Low, your favorite band.
Yeah, at the drive-in, right?
Also known as A Day to Remember, yes.
Mhm.
And no, but and I wasn't really thinking of them in like the pop punk realm, and then so because I sort of thought of them as like more of a upbeat, like dancey emo band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was checking that one out. Oh hell yeah! Oh, Casey Nicholson just hit that follow button. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
But what else was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, so listening to All Time Low, that kind of helped me, and then listening to the pop punk songs we picked, that actually kind of helped me sort of define what pop punk is for me a little bit more. Because in all the songs that I picked that you'll see in like my top five versus a song like Dear Maria, Count Me In, like shit like that had a little more coolness to it. And this is apparent in all the songs you picked. There's like a little bit more coolness to it. And while being a great song, I don't think it qualified, because pop punk has, I've been noticing that, because I listened to a shitload of it this week, obviously, and I've been noticing it has this thing where it's like, because I notice more so now with like kids today, they have this, here's my flaws, and that's why I'm awesome, and that's why I'm good enough, and yada yada yada, and blah blah blah. But like pop punk back in the day, if you really listen to it, there's none of they bring up a lot of like, these are my insecurities, but there's never that step of like, and that's why I'm awesome. It's like, no, I stink, but that's all I know.
Yeah,
and like
they're all zombie movies. They're all zombie movies. They all end on bummers. Like they're all bummer ender, like that kind of thing of like this is the scenario. This is why I'm heartbroken.
Yeah,
this is why we're here, and then that's it. Bye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like it's not even a, this is gonna destroy me. It's just like that's just storytelling, really.
yeah,
You know, like that's what I was saying, because that's one of my things. I noticed that you, in because you were posting about it on Instagram, and a lot of the replies and stuff like that to some of the songs that people that were in their top five, and somebody had mentioned MXPX, and you're like, I guess I hadn't really mentioned them, and this helped me uncover like a lot about them, and there's
MXPX.
I could have added like an entire album that I listened to growing up to the honorable mentions. You know, I almost did that, but there's like it's actually, I actually looked it up and realized something that I didn't know, and totally makes sense now. It's just a collection of a bunch of their B-sides and singles, and a bunch of like maybe unreleased demos and different songs and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a best of from their entire career up until that point. And it was one of my favorite albums growing up, and the first MXPX album I bought, and realized, holy shit, yeah, they're the genre, they're the version of pop punk that I think I relate to the most.
Okay.
Whereas I feel like you related to a different era of pop punk.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's what I noticed immediately too with our two lists. Is I was like, it really showed our like slight age difference, because right now, like I'm 30, you're 37, and like that right now is 34. I'm kidding.
I'm 13, just like Caleb. Caleb.
Just Caleb. But no, I'm 30. You're 34. That's not that big of an age difference. Like that, like 4 years doesn't matter at our age. But when you're in high school, like 4 years is crazy. That's a freshman to a senior. Those are two entirely different human beings, and it was very apparent that the songs you picked. There was a real it became very obvious of like, oh yeah, this is when Pat was in high school, and then this was when I was in high school. Like that was overly abundant. What was a song in your honorable mentions that was like almost made it to the top 5?
That would be Cold and All Alone by MXPX. That's something that I was gonna realize. Like a lot of my realization from trying to whittle down now. So like you said, it was about what bands, first of all, like what do I think of with this title, like the pop punk moniker or something like that.
Yeah.
As well as like which ones do you think of? So like there's a band that I think, and something that helped me with the reference was something like even looking up pop punk playlists, like some of the other things to kind of get stuff sparking of like, oh fuck. And then I ended up going by none of the bands that I saw. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh shit, this is a pop punk band. This band, like this is a song that I will never skip. This is a song that I fucking love. I've seen this band live every time I've seen them live. MXPX is the reason I play music. MXPX is the reason I play bass guitar, and I wanted to play bass guitar from the first song I ever learned on bass was Chick Magnet by MXPX, of course, because it starts with that sweet ass bass line.
I was gonna say that song. I don't listen to a lot of MXPX, but I know that song's got that starts like with the bass in the forefront.
Yeah, and that was and the particularly Life in General, the album Life in General, and Let It Happen, which is the one I was talking about earlier. I listened to on not only like a constant loop, but like there would be nightly that I would go to sleep listening to MXPX albums, like just like because they're sensitive stuff that they're singing about their feelings I loved, and then they could fucking rip for a Christian punk band.
Yeah, they could play fast.
They fucking, and for a 3-piece, I loved everything about like that. They were honestly, I will say this, and maybe this is Outlaw Pat here. I don't know if this is Outlaw Pat or Andy, but I'm gonna go out with a hot take right off the bat.
Everyone in MXPX deserves to die. Outlaw Pat.
No. Bam, bam. No, these aren't loaded. No, MXPX is the Beatles of pop punk.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like I had at least 4 songs that I wanted to put on the list. I had to narrow it down to 1 and then give them honorable mentions, and then wanted to say, instead of saying honorable mention, I will highly suggest anybody, if you want to learn about MXPX, the best album I can suggest is Let It Happen. It is a collection of their work from all over their earlier years. And it is something that if you don't like this song, just skip to the next one. I guarantee most of that album you'll like. And once you tell me what songs you like in that album, I can tell you which albums to check out of theirs full length.
Yo, and this album is punk as fuck. And I've never listened to this album. Like I said, I'm really behind on my MXPX listening, but I just pulled it up. 32 songs. You know how long this album is? Hour 10 minutes.
Cool.
That's like the punkest shit in the world.
Dude, it's something like you can listen to a song like GSF, which is another one of my honorable mentions by them, and then listen to a song like Small Town Minds back to back, and you're like, this doesn't even fucking sound like the same band. But both of them, you're like, I kind of fucks with both these songs.
Yeah.
If you don't, to some extent, as a punk fan, kind of fucks with both of those songs, then I question your loyalty to a music genre.
Well, and I was also curious. So going into this, I was under the assumption that you were gonna pick a bunch of stuff that was good music, but I was gonna like go, that's not exactly pop punk, but it's still
I
good
did.
music.
You know the song I'm talking about, by the way. Like I'm really excited because I think you know exactly the song I picked, which is I will say right now, something on my top 5 is not a pop punk song.
Oh, see, I was gonna say, wait, now I'm trying to remember
Some
what it
41.
was. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That was a non pop punk song by a pop punk band, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
No. I was gonna say, but I was shocked at how many of these songs that I personally would go, oh yeah, that's definitely pop punk. But it was just so interesting where it was like this was the pop punk, like a couple years before all the pop punk bands I listened to. This is before it like blew up.
Before it
and
broke, yeah.
Yeah, before it broke and it got a lot more polished because I got spoiled with all the like real polished stuff. You know, and like this is almost comparatively of like the like how the Descendants sound versus like early Blink 182.
Yeah.
It sounds like the same. It just Blink heard the Descendants and then figured out how to like tighten it up a little bit. And also too, a lot of the ones I picked, they were just bigger bands, so the recording quality was higher. But it still was like the similarities in sound. I was just surprised by.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like it's crazy because you can be even a band like that and still I feel like it's kind of like a thing where like you as you're listening to it, it's undeniable. Like you said, like if you're listening to it and you're like, I'm wondering if this is even not that they're not a pop punk band.
Oh, I don't mean to cut you.
Songs too, you know what I mean?
I don't mean to cut you off, but we should just real quick with context. I don't know if you have Spotify up, but I have like all of our playlists up. Just to give them context, I'm gonna just go through our honorable mentions real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Mine was Dear Maria Count Me In by All Time Low. This song Right Now by SR71, which is the quintessential fucking 90s movie like pop punk song in my opinion.
Everybody has heard that song.
Yeah. And then American,
by the way.
Go Away.
Is that Go Away?
Sorry.
Is that 71? Is that they do the one you're talking about? What's the name of it?
Right Now.
Is that Stacy's mom?
Yes.
You put it back with an updated reference.
Oh, and then the other songs for me: American Idiot by Green Day, I'm Just a Kid by Simple Plan. This song, which I was on the fence about, and honestly, I don't even really think it is, but I just wanted to bring it up and remind people that it rules, is Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. First Date by Blink-182, The Rock Show by Blink-182, Little Less 16 Candles by Fall Out Boy, and this was the one for me that was in the list, and then I had to take it out over like a technicality because I didn't feel it was full-blown pop punk enough to be in the top 5, but The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, which I reminded myself is one of my all-time favorite songs, and I don't even listen to Jimmy Eat World.
Right. And I think that's the thing. Well, so I had a song in my honorable mentions that
here, and let's read that off. Do you want me to read it off for you?
I was just going to go over mine actually.
Okay.
So yeah, I have it here. There's a song that I included that's actually just a cover of one of my top 5 songs that I really like. So I kind of played with the rules a little bit here, but this is just a lot of excess of a lot of the other songs. So more on the side of the more polished version of pop punk, I think Don't Leave Me by Blink-182. I think that's just perfect. You got the fucking sweet ass riff, the big beginning, you know, like it just has that kind of like that whole I really honestly that would be another one too. Like Enema of the State, I feel like could be one that could be the whole album, could be on the list. But
and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Like if you take out, because there's like a song, one or two songs you would consider like a ballad in pop punk terms.
Yeah.
But besides that,
so I also have. I wanted to show some respect to some more classic versions of it. See You Later, Fuckface by the Queers.
I love that. Was one of my favorite of your honorable mentions. It was so catchy.
It's one of my favorite. Like that's the thing about it. Like it's like the thing about the pop punk that I liked was it was kind of like the snotty bullshit version. It wasn't but it was also about like, you know, you suck and you hurt my feelings and I fucking like I just love that. Like it was so God,
Petty.
I can't no I can't I can't think of the right term for it, but it's essentially like I think you put it better, like polished, like something like where you're like, instead of just saying like "see you later, fuckface," it would be like "I'm never gonna see you again." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they would like they because they want it to be played. "See you later, fuckface," melodic, like the sound of it, it could play on the radio, but "see
Yeah.
you later, fuckface" can't be played on the radio. So it's like one of those things of like they just figured out how to make it marketable. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
then also another one of my favorite fucking bands. And by the way, the Queers are fucking incredible live. That's one of the best shows I've been to. Hey Suburbia by Screeching Weasel.
Yo, that one too. I fucking forgot about Screeching Weasel, and that was the one song of theirs that I used to listen to a bunch. So putting that one on was like a little walk down memory lane for me.
Yeah, that's a band that is I could put on pretty much any Screeching Weasel album at any point in their career and just fucking love it. It's
Do
one
you
of the
think
great
you're
driving band.
you're big? Okay, so you're a big Screeching Weasel fan. I was very curious about your opinion on this question. Do you think they would have gotten bigger if they would have had a different name?
Maybe. I mean,
Like maybe I just think I think
they may not have gone for it. They may not have like really given a shit about it. Like honestly, a lot of what they do is like I think they're just kind of happy. Like the Dwarves. Like the Dwarves were is another band that not necessarily pop punk, but not necessarily not. You know what I mean? Groovy Ghoulies is another band. I feel like they're happy with
they're
their
like
route.
slot in life.
Yeah, I don't think I think they're like, no, we're a fucking punk band. Fuck you guys.
Oh, okay, no, because Screeching Weasel was an interesting band where I was like, the name doesn't match the vibe, and I think you're right about what you're saying. Like they're happy with like where their like slot in like the whole scheme of pop punk music and stuff. But they're a band that easily, if they just kind of like shifted in a slightly more commercial way, they could shift that way easily.
Yeah, yeah, really easily. And a thing that I didn't realize, like again, going back and realizing how many albums MXPX has put out since
So
I
many.
stopped listening to them. That's when I was like, holy shit! If they're not the Beatles of pop punk, they are definitely the Slayer of pop punk.
Hmm.
Because I don't know. I mean, they got some airplay, some radio play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they were the biggest band ever at one point ever. You know what I mean? I don't know a ton of people that know. Like, I know a ton of people that know them, but only because of I think them. Like, I think that they have put out that much effort and that
Yeah.
work that they're another band that's probably completely happy with their audience. They don't necessarily need much more than that, and they're fucking great. Like I have by them just MXPX alone on my list. Cold and All Alone, which is a great fucking song. Great layers to that one. Andrea by them, as well as GSF are. I think those three songs kind of show a great range of like what they can offer as far as levels to a pop punk song
Yeah.
and still completely keeping in the reins of that genre. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
as
okay.
same
Yeah.
thing with Bracket. Bracket is borderline, um, I would say borderline grunge or alternative,
I see.
but
I thought they were them and MXPX have a very similar sound.
I fucking dude, I love the band Bracket
Yeah.
so fucking much. Like I again, I had to put
And
a ton of
yo,
it.
speaking of I was talking about Screeching Weasel. Speaking of names,
Mhm.
that there's something about that name that just rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a it's just it works for a punk band. Like you said,
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't work for, but then it really that is all kind of subjective too, because sometimes you're like, well, what is Green Day? That works, I guess, but it's also it kind of works either way. But Screeching Weasel is exclusively a punk band. Like that has to be that. Like
Yeah.
their whole logo is a fucking weasel in a leather coat. You know what I mean? Like
You might be able to swing it as like an experimental funk band. Because I know there was this one I listened to for a minute called the Screaming Headless Torsos, and that sounds like a punk band, but they were a funk band.
yeah,
I don't know.
I just think like the honorable mention thing saved me because I was able to it really, I played those 4 MXPX songs over and over again,
Hmm.
and had to pick those because there's a ton of songs by them. Like I said, Small Town Minds, um, the Fiasco. Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name of the song. It's a lot of their songs are like great punk songs, but as far as pop punk songs, I wanted to pick,
Yeah.
like, the most accurate to what I thought that was.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say about my honorable mention. Yeah, I already said like "Dear Maria." That song just fucking hits.
Yeah.
I listened to it a bunch, and funny enough, did you see that? Like, it was like a TikTok, Instagram Reels trend of there was this kid, and he's like driving in his car, and I think he was being like I think he was being funny, but not enough to where like it was real with a little bit of a wink, but it really should have had more of a wink to it. Where he's like driving his car and you see him go to his mom. He goes, "It's not a or what is it? It's not a fad. It's not a phase. It's a
lifestyle, yeah.
lifestyle." And then he sings the whole thing to "Dear Maria, Count Me In," and then like the internet responded properly, and there were just like all these videos of making fun of that kid because it's like, good, that kid stinks.
Yeah. I do appreciate the fact that in your honorable mention playlist, you did give us the uncensored version of American Idiot because,
Did I?
yeah, because I'll say that when it, something like, mind fuck or the other F word that's included that I don't really approve of, Andy. I like how you're poking fun at the listeners out there or anybody that's following along in the comments, because these are shit that you can't even say in the fucking chat, bro. Like,
Yeah.
why are you gonna do this here on the playlist? You're gonna sit here and tempt them and say like, hey, I like content that says all the F words.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
tell me the F words. What's going on here, Mister?
And if you're a fan of mine, you sing every word to American Idiot.
That's a
Eyes
hard
wide.
T on that one, brother.
No, I just think musically, American Idiot is just so fucking. It just fits into the genre so well. I think like lyrically, not a lot of pop punk bands get really political. So like lyrically, although American Idiot was my fucking album. But like, and they were going on and on when it was out about like the political message and blah blah blah. And I know I'm not one for lyrics, but I can't tell you a goddamn political message that dude had on that album.
That's
The
why
whole
I
thing,
mentioned those 2 curse words. That's it. Like, that's all I
Yeah.
remember from it.
the whole album, like it was a cool album, and it was I loved it, dude. I listened to the shit out of it. I'll still listen to it today and enjoy the fuck out of it. But I'm always like, they really overhyped the quote unquote political message from it, because like, I don't know, when it comes to politics and you're singing about it on your song and you're gonna get like overly artsy with it, it's like, yeah, don't make me. I don't know, man.
Well, when they said like they have a song called "Wake Me Up When September Ends." I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a pretty big song.
Doom
And,
doom dum dum doom dum.
yeah, you know that one.
Doom doom dum dum doom dum.
But and you go like, oh, this is 2004. You definitely wrote this about September 11th. They're like, no, it's about my dad. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Then it's not political. You're
Where are the
fucking selling.
politics?
You're selling it as a political thing, and everybody thinks "Wake Me Up When." Because remember, even "Wake Me Up When September Ends," the fucking video. Didn't they have, or was that the other one? I walk a lonely road. What's the one that has like soldier image? It looks like
That
a
one-
fucking
yeah,
US
no, Wake
Army
Me Up-
fucking ad.
Wake Me Up When September Ends has soldier images. I walk up the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That one always cracked me up because they were like, I walk this lonely road, but in the video, there's 2 guys walking with me.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're in a band, dude.
And hang on your left side, right of your best friend's ride. Trying.
Trying
Wait,
to holler at me.
is that the same
We
song?
are- this is a Green Day song.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and then you're trying to holler at me.
Yeah, dude. But no, I think musically, like that song's one of. Besides, I should have put also Basket Case on the list. That's like a huge pop punk song. I think before like pop punk was even like popular like that, because it's just so like lyrically, and that's a similar reason why I put like I'm Just a Kid, because there's like. You don't have pop punk if you don't have fucking like suburban kids overly whining about shit that's not a big deal.
Right.
Like that's just the that's just one of the pillars.
Like that's what I love. There's so many specific, like there's like MXPX songs where like at the end of it, if you were to like actually pay attention, because actually they do have, I don't know if it's his very clear enunciation, but it like I definitely could hear a lot more of the lyrics in their songs.
Yeah.
Some songs where at the end of it you're like, was this just about a fight? This was just about one argument that you had with your girlfriend or something? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're like, because it's just like, you remember that night that you walked over and then I forgot my keys in my car. And you're like, wait.
Well,
Was this like September 17th, like 1987? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck happened?
I think it was Monday or Tuesday. The days fall together.
No, but I do remember it was 3:14 exactly p.m.
I've written about 700 songs, so I gotta get a little more specific.
Like you said, the one album's 32 songs long, and they're just like, this is just about, okay, so this is March. This album's called March, and do you know what I mean? It's like
they just break the songs up to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, every day of the month.
What, like you said, one of your honorable mentions is First Date. It's about it's about not everybody's first date. It's about the time that I took you on that one time, that first date. Like that's what pop punk is. It's specific to the feelings in specific time frames. You know what I mean?
First Date's a great song too, because it's like what, like I've been on record, I believe, like Blink-182 is one of my favorite bands, but All the Small Things is All the Small Things is one of the most dog shit songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And like First Date is in that same realm. Like lyrically, it's awful. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
but
go ahead. Sorry.
Like as a whole composition, there's something fucking amazing about that song, because musically, and I think it has a little bit to do, like I learned how to play it on drums, and I know the drum part's like fucking sick. So, but like musically, that song just fucking rips.
That song, I will say, not like All the Small Things. Going back to that one, that's a song that on the album sucks dick, but like as far as live, because it's usually played faster, or maybe they just want to get it over with, or they want to fuck around with it more. You can figure out there's more, like you said, it's just such a solid base for a song that you could do so much more with it. But it is just a quintessential kind of thing of like, that's a pop punk song. Doesn't mean that it's the best one.
Yeah,
that's my least favorite. So you want to get in the top 5?
Yeah. So I think I wanted to say a few things about some of these songs, but I think I got through them. Yeah, Rock Show. Yeah, Rock Show and A Little Less 16 Candles. They're both just musically fucking awesome. Yeah, I said everything. Do you need anything else to say about your honorable mentions?
No, just essentially that I will highly suggest that anybody that gets a chance, listen to the albums that these songs are on. Like, just because or at least check out the best ofs of any of these albums, because every one of them, including even the Mad Caddies cover, they not only fit the genre, but like it's just like they're just fucking, they slap, they bop, they do everything. They'll if you like the genre of pop punk or anything like that, these, maybe there's gaps, or maybe you'll think that there's a song that I missed or anything like that. But especially if I can just expose one person to the band Bracket, and say like, because there's such a fucking unappreciated gem in my opinion, that like I listened to them almost completely for like I think a year almost. Like I listened to them daily pretty much that whole year. You know what I mean? Like if anytime I listen to music, I would listen to them at least at some point in that.
And you loved it every day, right?
Yeah, like because
what you're telling me is at no point did Bracket become a racket?
Yeah, that's actually what I meant to say, Andy, and I'm glad that you said it, because you're able to put my words so much more eloquently than I am.
All right.
I'm feeling one of those burps that's going to be the vomit again. So just give me a minute. Hold on.
I'm actually praying it's vomit this time.
Yeah, I'm praying it's blood.
It comes out all holes, eyes, ears, everything. So let's get into our top 5. Do you want to do? Have you decided like 1 through 5?
No, that was a distinction I wanted to make. I forgot to say, and I thought but didn't type when I sent you the link, was in no particular order. Was
Oh, because
that.
I have a particular order.
Okay, so that's good. So I can try to formulate mine as if you want to give yours first.
Yeah, we'll do it like it's a restaurant, and you'll know by the time the waiter gets to you.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. I'll know. I just think we're still looking right now. Thank you. Can I get some
No,
more water though?
it just all looks so good. You just have
Yeah,
so much on the menu.
Thank you.
For the free thing, could I get more of that, please?
Yeah, right here.
So let me
More bread, too.
let me get into my number 5. My number 5, and this is the one I was debating between this song and The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, which I technically like The Middle by Jimmy Eat World better than this song, but I think this song encapsulates the whole pop punk vibe a little bit more. And it's The Anthem by Good Charlotte.
Yeah, I hate this song. I fucking hate this song, and I see what you're going with here.
You fucking hate this song?
I fucking hate this song, Andy.
I love this song, dude. This song is also too, like, when the song came out, I was at the perfect age. It fucking hit right. And it's just like it just has that fucking bounce to it. That's the thing. Like, it's like pop punk generally, like, regardless of the lyrics, has to have this like upbeat thing to it. And like that song just like and I remember too
It's like, oh.
And I was in middle school, and when he hits the part where he's like, shake it once, that's right, shake it twice, that's okay, shake it 3 times, you're playing with yourself. I'm like, that is comic gold. Comedic gold. I'm in middle school, loving life, dude. This song rules.
I think that was the same video. I don't know if that was the video, but there was a Good Charlotte video that I got so pissed off because one of the guys was wearing a fucking NoFX shirt, and I was like, you take that fucking shirt off right now, you fucking dork.
Oh yeah, dude. Good Charlotte was one of those bands that would disrupt friendships.
They're
like
they're hit or miss Charlotte, in my opinion. They're hit or miss Charlotte. Outlaw Pat here. Hey, hit or miss. You know, every once in a while, yeah, I'll go, that's pretty good. But that one, I'm like, penitentiaries. It's like,
well, that was my thing. No, he goes, that goes back though to what I was saying is like there's like a pillar of pop punk is being over dramatic about problems that aren't that big of a deal. So he goes, in my high school, it felt more to me like a jail cell, a penitentiary. It's like, you got to leave at 3, dude. Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they taught you things. Like, you went to
get
gym.
Suspension, you fucking dork. You got 1 detention. 1 detention. They're and you know what? They're the fucking dorks that cried when they got detention. You know what I mean? Like, they're the ones that cried, and you're like, why are you fucking crying? He's a teacher. Why are you crying in front of these people? They'll kill you.
I think I saw a thing. They're funny too because I think I saw a thing about them, and like at least the twins, because they were like the mainstay, like the main thing of the band. I think they legit had a pretty like rough upbringing, but they wrote songs like they didn't. That was the funniest part.
And that's what I'm saying is like I don't understand. I didn't get it, and I felt like even at my age, like I guess maybe that's the thing. Maybe with pop punk, it's like dog years. So like even though I'm only 4 years ahead of you, I'm just like the old man that's just like, stick to fucking music, you dorks. I don't want to hear your politics. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, I just like keep it to fuck you, fuck face.
I don't know, man. Just like the fucking when they hit the chorus of it, it just rips, and I get like, and I really do think, I think musically this really encompasses of my, like when I was in high school, like really what made a good pop punk song a good pop punk song. But I also do think like nostalgia does a lot of heavy lifting for me on this one. But I was listening to this and all the other pop punk songs a bunch at work on Friday, and fucking I felt myself like whenever they would like build up to the chorus, just doing that, like let's fucking go, dude. It was just hitting for me hard, so I had to throw it on the list. But like I said, it was up against the middle, and this just won out to me because I thought this was like more pop punk than the Jimmy Eat World song.
More appropriate for the
list.
assignment at hand. Yeah, yeah.
But
I will say
Desert Island, if I only had fucking 5 songs, the middle would go on the list sooner than Good Charlotte.
Right. Okay, so I guess I'll give my number 5 maybe?
Absolutely.
Or do you want to go to your number?
No,
do you
want to
go through all? Okay.
No. We'll go back and forth.
This is where I made my mistake. I just didn't want to give away too much of your list and too ahead of time. I guess I won't know your placement of it, but I will say at number 5 is my one mistake in the list. And this was the thing, and this is going to be replaced by another song, but I put the song Still Waiting by Sum 41.
And I even saw that initially, and I was like, great song.
Not pop punk. My bad.
And which quick little sidebar, I think I mentioned this in the Sum 41 episode, which was our first episode. So if you're listening or watching this, go back into the archives, check that out.
Or listen later.
Oh yeah, no, don't listen. Wait, what? Finish this one and then go back to that. Do nothing in your life, but fucking take in our content.
Just our content.
But that was at my age, being in like middle school, early high school. Sum 41 was one of those bands because MTV was still a big thing. So TRL, shit like that. Sum 41 would get that when this music played, they had the one lyric where they would go drop dead, a bullet to my head, and when he would say like dead and then like bullet, they would censor that. And then I remember looking up what the actual lyrics were, and I realized I was like, oh, they're not censoring like curse words. They're censoring
language.
They're censoring normal words in badass context.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like way cooler to me.
Yeah, I think. Sorry. So this was after further review, something that I realized that I didn't want to just replace it with something from the honorable mentions because those were put there. They were already deemed not worthy for the list. It wasn't going to be something that it's just replaceable. I felt like it's necessary that I replace it with a song that's more appropriate and also gives honor to a band. I wanted to represent some of the bands that I feel like old and new, I think represent the genre the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be Sum 41 still on number 5, but instead of Still Waiting, I would have to agree with your selection of a song by them in your top 5, which is Fat Lip. Quintessential, like
yeah.
Get this, you got the like you got the snottiness of it, you got the jokes of it, you got your El Ninos and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's a reference. It's like I said. What did I say? I think even in that episode, it's a kind of a time capsule of that era of pop punk and that kind of thing. It's got the simplicity of the chords as well as it rips too. You know what I mean? Like, also, like it goes. It has elements. It's even when it goes into it has like a lot of the things, like I said, where MXPX would do it in different songs. These guys are doing it all in one song. They have the "Don't Count on Me," you know what I mean? And then they also have the fucking cool riffs and shit like that too. You know what I mean?
Well, they've got
the distorted guitar.
Yeah, they've got every part of it in one song.
Right. It's one-stop shop pop punk, and I feel like as far as economy of emotion as well as like composition, like Sum 41 is a pop punk band that when they're playing a pop punk song, they have like they're very much efficient at it, and I think are really great. Yeah,
I agree. So I guess we'll go to my number 4 then.
Yes, Queen.
And this was a song. This is from a band that is not popular, is not, big, but I just think from like a musical standpoint and like a lyrical standpoint, this was just a big one to me. The song is called Alex in Wonderland by This Time Next Year.
Yeah.
And that one was just big to me because I thought it was I wanted to kind of see if there was any like newer, like the newer bands, sort of the bands that were big when I was in college. that was doing the like pop punk shit that sort of encapsulated that sound well. And this song is so goddamn catchy to me. They do sort of the dueling lyrics like we talk about in Taking Back Sunday songs, but like musically it's got that upbeat nature. It's like it's got that great balance of like upbeat music with petty lyrics about girls.
Yeah. No real problems. First world
Yeah.
problem songs.
Like he literally said, what does he say at one point? He goes, he says something about not being able to sing. Yeah, he goes something about I'm not gonna be able to sing songs about me, which is just like an insane thing to complain about.
Right.
Who has songs written about them? And it's like you could still sing them even if the girl leaves you. You know what I mean?
You're
it's
the
like
lead singer of a band. You. This is an album. Like
you do that. That's
Yeah.
what you do. You sing songs. Just sing the song if you want to. No one's stopping you. But it's just like it's just an insane thing to complain about that like you can't sing songs that people wrote about you anymore. You know what I mean? And I think also musically or god damn it. Adjectives describing music are so hand jobby because I was gonna say like the sound, like sonically the sound of the vocals, but no, I think the dude's voice is so fucking perfect because it's like right in that because a lot of pop punk singers can't fucking sing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Blink 182 is a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's one of those bands that they're fucking huge, and because that's the thing is once Bob Dylan did it, everybody was like, "Oh, you can just suck," and just go for it, and they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "It doesn't matter."
You can just fucking suck.
You could just suck. I didn't know you could just suck.
I thought you had to like get good at it, but you just fucking not be good at it.
I thought when you made good points and couldn't sing, you were a poet, but apparently you can just be Bob Dylan.
Yeah, but like this dude, so like a lot of pop punk singers can't sing. You'll see that, or they're like they either can't sing or they're not like traditionally taught how to sing, so they start doing like weird shit. And while it's still good, their voices still sound kind of weird, and you'll see that in my number 2 pick. Yeah. And but no, like this dude, his voice, the main guy singing, he's got the other dual vocals, but there's like the main dude singing has such like a fucking, I don't know, just perfect voice for the genre. And this song's, I don't know, man. This song has very high replay value for me, and it's very fun. It's very fun to sing. It's my top sing-along song in the car. Like you ever have the song, and I really hope you can think of it, but like what's the song for you that is your, because there's songs you sing along to in the car constantly, but there's a couple that you go for it on. And every time I play this song, Alex in Wonderland, I go for it. Like I try to, if it was Guitar Hero, I would try to get a perfect score on it. Like I legitimately do my best to make it sound like the album.
Hold on, let me actually, I do not know the song. Let me find it real quick. It is because it's all like, it's literally just holding notes, but it's like the hardest version of that I think you would find maybe it's not, honestly, maybe in a punk song. Hold on. It is off of NoFX's, I already know the album, I just want to find it. Heavy Petting Zoo from 1996. And it is, hold on, I'm just gonna,
NoFX is so fucking fun.
It is Freedom Like a Shot. No, wait, no, that's not it. Bleeding Heart Disease.
Okay.
Bleeding Heart Disease starts out with like this, like it starts out with this fucking harmony and shit like that. And I do the hand, I do the closed eyes, I do everything.
And then you realize you're driving a car.
Yeah, my eyes closed and I go, bam.
It goes from to
Ow. But yeah, that's a song that like every time I will turn it up as loud as I can. That or I Sucked a Dick by Wheeler Walker Jr.
My other one is Wet Ass Pussy. That's my other one. All right, so what is your number 4, Patrick?
My number 4 would probably have to be, and I really hate to put it down this low, but as far as like it's top 5, like this is log jam, bro. We got Cool Kids by Screeching Weasel.
Okay.
And that kind of speaks to more of the, like I was saying earlier, uh like the snottiness. It's
Yeah.
it's about like it's a song saying that we're the cool kids and you're not a part of it. Like literally, that's like it's a real cool club and you're not a part of it. Fuck you. Like it's to me, it's kind of the same version of like having that like I was saying of like kind of being the people that aren't popular, but saying like no, like fuck you, dude. This is the cool shit. You suck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like and actually where it's like catchy. It's got
Very
a
catchy.
sweet ass keyboard solo in it that I love. And it's also it just got the fucking it checks all the boxes again, like in a fucking pop punk song. As far and I don't think anybody can really necessarily not like that song. I
I
really
I remember I remember listening to it and like I said it kind of like I was saying about what's great with the last song or with I'm Just a Kid by Simple Plan. You know, just like overly complaining about things that aren't that big of a deal. Like this felt a little bit of like, and this is me more coming from like an adult standpoint. If I was in high school, I'd be like, yeah, dude, the cool kids are the bane of my existence. But it's that thing when you're like becoming more of an adult and you're just like it's not a real thing. The cool kids aren't real, blah 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 or whatever. But still, like musically, if you don't like the lyrics, it's musically hits hard.
yeah, and it's like it's catchy. It's kind of cool that like bands that I love like make. I mean, they're not like reinventing the wheel or anything. It's pop punk.
Yeah.
But it's still it is in honorable mentions even just to bands that are much like this. Like it's almost like 60s rock. Like they kind of bring this like catchiness of like the Beach Boys or like a fucking what's that question mark in the Mysteries? Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
69 Eyes or what was it called? Something
I
there's some song question mark in the Mysteries had a hit song. It is hold on, let me look it up real quick. Question mark. I can't imagine anybody else being named question mark. Really?
sorry, I'm
90,
seeing
96 Tears is the name of the song.
I
Question mark.
got I got distracted because Mads is in the chat and he just wrote in all caps. He goes, "Am I more than you bargained for yet?" I would call that an emo song, but still, I've played that one way too many fucking times. Sugar, we're going down.
I actually said that. There was actually a song in your top 5. Hold on, let me go to your top 5 real quick. I was on mine. Top 5. I think it's my friends. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that.
The beginning of that song and
Yeah.
the beginning of Sugar We're Going Down Swinging are almost identical. Listen to them back to back and and they even stop at the same part and they go man, and they start singing the same way and everything. It's
Oh
crazy.
really?
I played it back to back for Dom last night and she was like, holy shit. She's like, fuck, now I'll never not be able to hear that. Like
Huh?
when that like hits and they start singing, you'll start singing the Fall Out Boy song.
They're like the same tempo, right?
Yes, it's almost the same notes and everything. I feel like
I mean, there's a high chance it's in the same chord progression.
it's crazy, right? And
Yeah.
like I heard that, and I was like, because like I was like, what does that sound like? And then I was like, what's that song called? Sugar Swinger or Sugar Flyer? What's the song called? By Fall Out Boy.
I fell out of my sugar.
I can't believe it's not sugar or something like that. What was that?
Yeah, no, those two songs are very fucking similar.
See, you like how I didn't give away your song name? I didn't want to fucking spoil it. I gave away the other one before because, dude, the similarities on our list. I'm surprised how similar. Like I said, with that one flub,
Well,
that is the other song that I would have picked.
well, speaking of similarities, I'm gonna get to one that is so similar it's the exact same song on your list.
Isn't that fucking crazy, dude?
Which this one I was so shocked that it was on your list. Not that I don't think you like Blink-182, but I know I didn't think you liked them enough to put them on a top 5 list. And this song we're talking about is Dumpweed by Blink-182.
This is on my play. This is on my like personal playlist that I like to listen to, like just not a slappy bopper, not a like a
Yeah.
five or anything like that. Like the one that on heavy rotation in my car at all times is absolutely Dumpweed, and as well as honorable mention Don't Leave Me.
Yeah,
Both of
and
those songs.
this one for me is in my heavy rotation. Like besides just liking the song, I used to actually be able to play it, and if I'm being honest, at like 95% accuracy, because there's some bass pedal shit Travis Barker does where he'll do like do da 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 da. I can't even fucking sing it. It's so fast. But there was like some fills that were really hard to do the bass drum right on. So full disclosure, if I'm being honest, I probably would get it like 95 to 99% or 95 to like 97% right. But like I used to be able to play this song on drums, so I still listen to it a lot, thinking about the drum part. So that's why it's so like readily in my mind. But also, if you like really look at it from all the songs I would consider pop punk that Blink-182 put out, like across the board in every category, this song for me is like of the highest quality. And it really,
it's perfect.
yeah, and I really like it too because a lot of people just go Travis Barker's amazing at drums, which he is. I would put all my money on, or I could confidently say like he's the best pop punk drummer in my opinion. And
Yeah.
and it's like it's not even just that like, oh, he can play really fast and do all this crazy shit. Like there's a thing. So if you listen to music a lot, there will be like a pattern that a lot of bands use where it'll be like do do da da do do da 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 da. You know, like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 da. And so there's this one part where Travis Barker does this drum fill where it's like he goes between the snare and the bass, and he does that but with like 16th notes. So it's like you know, like that. But what he does, rather than starting at the beginning of the measure and ending on the end of the measure, he shifts it one note, starts the second beat of the measure, ends in the middle of the first beat of the next measure, and it's like just doing little shit like that adds this like different feel and sound to the whole song. And that's what Travis Barker does on all. It's like it's like Travis Barker's drumming to me is if he was like, okay, I did all the homework and then I did these 3 other kids' homework for them. And also, I wrote a lesson plan that you could also possibly use tomorrow in school. And then you look at the lesson plan, and it's fucking perfect. It's better than the teachers. Like, Travis Barker, he only needs to do this much, but he does so much more in all of his songs. And he doesn't, like, it doesn't stand out in a negative way. It only helps to add to the song. And that's why I'm always, like I said, everyone thinks Travis Barker's dope at the drums, but I'm like, yo, just look into it for a minute and just appreciate like why he's so good at it.
So that's your number 3, right?
That's my number 3. Yeah.
I would have to put it actually at number 3 as well. Like, I think that's, and even though I will say something like, because this is my top 5 of in order of songs that like the top 3 are kind of probably day to day could be interchangeable. But as far as what I'm feeling right today, that's a number 3. Because it really all top 5 possibly, except for Fat Lip stays at 5 most likely. But but that's the thing of like where like it's just the perfect song. It's just the perfect song that like if it and as far as when I think pop punk, I think any one of my top 3. So then should I get into my number 2? Sorry.
Can I say one last? I'm sorry. Can I say one last thing about Dumpweed? Also, what they do, like, I feel like a good song gives you like just enough, or I should say, a song that goes from part to part. So they have the super fast part and then like the halftime parts. They give you, in my opinion, Dumpweed gives you the super fast part just enough that every time I get to the end of the song, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to that one more time because I need to hear that section a little bit more. Yeah. And I think that songwriting decision is so smart when it comes to like replay value.
Yeah, and that's another element of having those different layers of being able to rip and cry in the same song.
Ooh, quick pause. Mads threw out a song that I came upon, but I didn't put on any of my lists. But the Atari's cover of "Boys of Summer," I think that's what he's saying. He said "Boys of the Summer." I'm assuming he means
Boys of Summer, yeah.
the Atari covers, the Atari's cover. You ever hear that one?
Yes, I will say I am a person who this is a band who crosses both of our paths, Andy, because I was a fan of the Ataris first, and I would have to suggest and counter by saying I believe it's called San Bernardino High School Football is the Best. That's the song you should listen to. Don't listen to a fucking cover. You got a black flag picture on the creative look. No, come on. They
I'm
don't
showing love to the chat, Patrick.
right. Your chat.
Come on, we gotta
Look
make
at
the
Baby
people.
Mermaid Productions if you want the real takes, because
We gotta-
that's here, bitch.
We gotta make the people fucking happy.
I would say the Ataris are a band that I was surprised because their song from Short Music for Short People.
Great album, by the way.
Right. It's and they have a song that I loved growing up because it was called "The Radio Still Sucks," and I always hated listening to the radio because they never played music I liked. So I would say when I heard that song on an Apple computer commercial, I was like, good for them. But also, you're not saying Marilyn Manson can suck his own dick, or you wish Marilyn Manson would break his fucking neck. You didn't say that part on the commercial, so I kind of feel like you sold out a little bit. It doesn't mean you sold out because it's in a commercial, but because they didn't play all of the words, I kind of feel like, come on, guys, what are you doing?
You thought there was a chance they'd play that part on the Apple commercial?
I'm just saying, Ataris have a lot of fucking songs. This is the one you chose to sell, and none of the other songs say "break your fucking neck." Why'd you pick the one that has the part? And it's a 30-second song.
Yeah, dude, they had to edit a lot out of it.
Yeah, break his fucking neck. You know what I mean? Like you're like every now and then the radio still sucks. You know what I mean? Like it's just like if I don't know. What do you think sucks means?
Matt.
Implying dick.
Mads had to say, by the way, he goes, Bandana Pat is a dick. And I'm like, it's actually pronounced Outlaw Pat.
Excuse me, you haven't seen my Harley, have you? I'm sorry. I apologize, Mads. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
No, Mads loves you. He's the one who made the Pat used your image, by the way, on the
yeah
on the GDP Live. That's Mads.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I use that and I appreciate that because that's
wow, dude. Outlaw Pat becomes a bitch real quick.
Biting the hand that feeds me already.
Oh, he said Stupid Kid by Alkaline Trio. Alkaline Trio is such a fucking... They're always a band I forget I love because I don't listen to a shitload of them. But like, they're a band I don't listen to a lot of, and some of their songs are like some of my favorite songs.
Armageddon is probably one of the, as far as if we're talking pop punk, I would like to add that to my honorable mentions actually.
They have a song too on what's the fucking album? It's like their first album. They're another band that wrote 1,900 albums.
Yeah, Private Eye is another great song. Very catchy. They're very so maybe that's what it is. Maybe pop punk is just catchy punk.
Yeah, really. Pop punk is just a little bit more upbeat punk rock with slightly more trivial issues.
Well, that's that's definitely not Alkaline Trio because they're like straight up saying like I'm gonna like kill you, you bitch.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna kill you.
That's where you get into emo. Once you start threatening to irrationally kill your girlfriend, that's when it's emo music.
So no offense, Mads, but technically they're emo. They're emo punk.
They're emo punk, like them and old AFI. But no, their song off of God Damn It, Cringe, and then the whole album honestly, but Cringe is so fucking good, and then Cop. Do you remember Cop?
I don't.
It's just shit. It's such a good song for like young kids because it's just them shitting on their friend for becoming a cop. So wait, let's go to your. Since we both had the same number 3, let's go to your number 2.
Okay, my number 2, and like I said, this is ever changing, but it would be Under Lock and Key by MXPX. like I stated before, MXPX I think is clearly, after further review, the Beatles of pop punk.
What, I hear what you're saying, but I don't fully understand it. What do you mean? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't completely understand what you mean by that.
I think the Beatles. So let's just say everybody here. I don't know if you are familiar. You are somewhat familiar with their songs. Like you at least knew the beginning of Chick Magnet started out with the bass solo. Like you knew that much about them. Are
Yeah,
you
I
familiar at
know.
all with MXPX?
What?
Are you familiar at all with them? Have you like heard them before?
Yeah. Like one of my favorite songs when I was a kid was Punk Rock Show, and I know a handful of other songs, and I know them enough. Like they have a distinct enough sound that if I heard a song out of the blue, I'd probably the second I heard the singer sing, I'd know it was an MXPX song. So that's kind of like where I am at with MXPX.
And I would also say this, and it's not as much as like he's definitely not as exciting. But I would argue that Yuri from MXPX is one of the best punk rock pop punk drummers of all time, because I just feel like he's somebody that looks like if this guy wasn't going to get famous playing music, he was done for. He's IT tech or like Chunk from the Goonies. Like this guy is ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
So he had to get he's a super unattractive Trey Cool from Green Day. Like that's the kind of like he has that energy and that fucking like consistency of like like where he can just do like these big movements. He's almost like that guy from the video with the guys playing ZZ Top where he's like flipping the drumsticks the whole time. You ever seen that from Knoble?
Yeah, that dude rules.
He's almost that. Like and so like something about MXPX, I feel like if you are a fan of or not knowledgeable of punk or pop punk, you know and or like one of their songs. But if you actually delved in, much like the Beatles, into some of their deeper tracks, you're gonna be like, damn, they're fucking good as fuck. Why don't they play this shit on the radio? And this is the shit where you're like, why don't I know this song? Yeah, I know Responsibility, I know Chick Magnet, I know Punk Rock Show, I know, all these, but also you're like, but then you're like, holy shit, yeah, I know all those songs. And then just pick an album. Pick an album from the 90s, late 90s or earlier, back all the way back to Pokin' At Ya. And you like, dude, Pokin' At Ya fucking rips, dude. That album is amazing. It's not technically all pop punk and it's a lot more Christian based, but there's something about that album that it's just they have a fucking like rawness to them, and they have so many. They've grown over the years so much, but stayed in that same genre, much like the Beatles, where they're always been this like rock band, but they've always been this pop punk band, and they're, like I said, if not the Beatles, at least the pop punk version of Slayer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel where you're coming from. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just never got into. They never connected to me. I always respected them though, because they were like super. They had that super like upbeat pop punk, but they were interesting because they would do this pop punk shit, but then they would also play fast as fuck.
Yeah, and they would, and not only that, I saw them multiple times when I was younger, and they had like as a 3-piece pop punk band with no lasers or fucking anything going on or anything, would put on a fucking incredible show and sound great. Not exactly like the album. They would add shit, they would change shit, take requests, do whatever. They weren't creeps. They weren't like weirdos, and like do shit like Antics as well. You know how much I love Antics. After a song, boom, raining out. He was one of the first people I saw take his bass off and fucking throw it at the same time that his bass tech threw his replacement bass that was tuned to the next song.
Oh, really?
Put it on, and they started the next song.
That's fucking hilarious.
Fuck, dude. I saw that live, and I was like, I will never say a bad word about MXPX, no matter how. I have not listened to them. Oh, Outlaw Pat took over this hand. But I have not listened to them in probably 10 years, aside anything that they've made in 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
But I will say that they are incredible performers, and I think should be considered, at least if there was a Hall of Fame for pop punk or punk, they should definitely be in there.
First ballot.
So. What about your number two?
I would agree with that. Oh, sidebar. If you're a band who I've seen like 3 or 4 times live. Amazing live show. Just like anyone, if you were if your friend dragged you to this, you would still have a fun time. Is a Real Big Fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the way they put, it's just because like fucking half the songs they go into like a little thing, whether it be like some jokes and stuff, or just kind of like they kind of like do an extended part of songs and stuff like that. They do all the songs a little bit different. The guy's actually funny. Like there's bands that when they try to joke and stuff, they're kind of like, all right, they play the songs I like, so we'll smile when they make this corny joke. But like he's actually funny. It's fun. Real Big Fish, amazing live show.
Yeah. I would absolutely agree. I went to see them and wasn't exactly sure if I wanted to see them, and still had a great fucking time. Like I can vouch to exactly what you're saying. Even if you don't want to go, you're gonna be like, this is fucking great. This was a lot of fun.
Great memory I always have was my dad took me to one of their shows because I was still in middle school, and he didn't want me to go by myself or whatever. And then he also liked Real Big Fish, and they have what's their one song where his girlfriend's like turns into a lesbian or whatever?
My girlfriend sucks or no?
I always forget what that was called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
My girlfriend's a fucking lesbian, dude. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, bro, you're getting Adele.
Oh my god, I was on this one Zoom show and I made a reference to this one dude on the show looking like the Dell guy, and it got aggressive crickets.
Yeah, I just referenced that the other day to a friend that is older than me, and he didn't get the reference, and I was like, God damn.
No one.
I don't know why I went to the well again. I don't know if Mads is gonna know it. You know.
Oh, she has a girlfriend now. And then I remember seeing them live, and Mads knows all the ska facts. He had the answer as I was saying it. Yeah, she has a girlfriend now. Oh yeah, he's also talking about Less Than Jake. Less Than Jake fucking ruled. Yeah, no, and then they would play the song and they go, this song's about lesbians, and they go, who likes lesbians? And I'm in middle school and my dad, it's his favorite song, and I just see my dad go like, yeah! Like they just, I don't know, like they were just like, they said the exact thing he wanted to fucking hear. So that was always fun when I was a child.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory.
That's the one I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, and I think that one, it encompasses all the comical things you could joke about pop punk while still being like a really good, catchy song. The thing I was saying earlier, like the dude's got a really high nasally voice. He clearly learned how to sing on his own, but then he's still good. Like he's got the distinct sound, but he still can hold a tune and shit. He's not like bad at singing. He just has like a funny, like a hilariously high pitched nasally voice. Musically, the song's so goddamn catchy. It lyrically, it encompasses. Jesus Christ, Andy! It encompasses the theme that all good pop punk songs have, which is boys rule, girls drool. And yeah, dude, I remember while I was listening to it, I just had that fucking. It sent me right back, and I immediately had this, like, bob in my head going along with it, fucking, like, the first time I fucking heard it.
It's undeniable. It's undeniable.
It's so goddamn good. And it
Dom walked in and immediately, like, I had it playing in the kitchen when I was making dinner, and she opened the door as she came in from work, and she was like, she immediately like jumped into the lyric. Like she was like, it didn't take her a little bit like, what are you listening to? I don't, yeah. She was just like, my friends that like, she knew the fucking song. And I was like, that's the one thing I knew that was going to happen when I was playing your top 5. She was definitely going to sing along with more of your songs than mine.
Yeah. And also if we remember, the music video had a classic, just hijinks galore.
Were they naked running through a neighborhood or
no? That was old Blinky Dinkies, and no, fucking just lots of silly shit. There was dogs and the dogs were pooping on things, and it was crazy, dude. They're just kids having fun. Fucking Dickies and Converse as far as the eye could see. Like it's just such a quintessential pop punk video. And
Andy, did he hold the mic like this at all?
oh yeah, yo, there was a thing like that where
there
was a thing for a while. If you guys want to go have fun, go look up a band called what were they goddamn called?
Iron Maiden.
Yes. And he held the mic in his ass.
No, that was Judas Priest.
Oh yeah, fuck. Shit. Whoops.
Oh, gross.
Damn it, I'm a bigot. Fuck.
Oh.
Fuck. I can't remember the goddamn band. They were so fucking good.
You Found Glory.
What?
You Found Glory.
No, there was this band, there was this one, I can't remember the one band, but this other band that does it is, can't remember the other fucking band, but there's this thing, hardcore, like those fast hardcore, like, it's this genre where it's like fast hardcore, but it's like, it's got this like slight, it's not pop punk, but when you listen to it, you immediately go, oh, you guys grew up listening to pop punk, but you wanted to make more aggressive, fast music. And there's this thing where they fucking intentionally hold the mic like this the whole time. And it's ridiculous.
The two-hander. It's not a foot long, guys. You can just sing into just the sound part. It's just the top. It's the only part. I need to cover any part that's not taking in my sound.
Now I want to find that goddamn band because they were so good. Oh, excuse me. They were so fucking good.
He's just getting so emotional. All right, so now we're down to number one, right?
We're on the number one, yeah.
All right, number one is this song, Undeniable. The reason I had to throw in all of their honorable mentions is because I love this band, and it's a band that is still putting out albums, still even good albums too. Not the best, but their hits are fucking awesome. I highly suggest at least checking out their top 5 on Spotify. My number one is from a band known as Bracket, and the track, I think I just realized how to actually it's supposed to be pronounced, and I think it's track 005, but it is the number 2, then a lowercase RAK, then 005. I think much like probably they're like, and it goes to what I've talked about on the show before about like
track 5.
Track 5, right?
Yeah.
But it's basically it's how like it looks like it would come out if you processed it from like whatever software you were using or whatever, and it kind of gives credence to like the arguments that I've had in the past of like the name of songs not mattering, like it just kind of like don't put too much thought into it. And a lot of times when I finish songs, I just kind of jokingly name them about whatever, like just whatever pops in my head. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this kind of already just reading the name of the track, it looks like that. But it's also one of the catchiest and one of my all-time probably favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, I remember when this one popped up, I was like, it was that moment. What the fuck is it? You remember did you ever see Clerks 2?
Yeah.
Remember when Jay, they're outside the fast food place, Jay's like bitching and he's all mad.
He starts playing the song and he plays the song?
Yeah, he starts playing the one song, and then you hear him go, he's like all pissed off, and then the song comes on and he goes, "Oh.
Ooh."
Ooh. And I heard, and then, yeah, and when I heard it, I did the same thing. I listened to this and I tucked my shit back and I was doing the fucking. No, but like when I heard this, I was like, oh, okay. And I remember I couldn't like hum the melody right now. I just remember being like, okay, let's go, baby.
It's because it's just like it just immediately gets you like with it's the urgency of like the banana. Like it's got the fun timing to it.
Yeah.
And it also has the like you don't know, no matter how many times you hear it, you don't exactly know when it starts or ends. Like or you know when it starts, obviously, when the song plays. But like when the ending comes, like you're like, it just has that very like urgent but still low-key intro, outro thing of like the nonchalant, like the punk elements of it, as well as the fucking it's basically all just about like everything he's saying is a lie, even this. Like it's kind of like the weirdness of it. That kind of reminds me of like a Dookie type scenario or Green Day's lyrics, how sometimes they can kind of be so convoluted. You know what I mean? So
Okay, yeah.
like kind of like a maze, like they or storytelling in a way. Like that's like it's like
Yeah.
a like I don't know. They have that aspect, even if it's not fully like it doesn't come out completely. There's so much unwrapping to do with bracket songs, and it seems so simplistic on the surface. But I would highly suggest checking out the album that this one is featured on. It's like kind of a best of theirs, but also
Okay.
checking out their live album, Live in a Dive. You get to appreciate a lot of the harmonies and shit a lot more, because some of the songs that I featured on the best or on the honorable mentions are like I said, the harmonies are just so fucking great, and his voice is so unique that I feel like it's so fun to listen to.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm an open
yeah,
book.
yeah. What's your biggest fear in life? No, fucking. Oh yeah, that was Live in a Dive was a Fat Records thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cause I just remembered. I used to listen to me and my brother, because of like Tony Hawk, listened to Lagwagon a little bit in high
Mhm.
school, and I remember my brother had their Live in a Dive album, so I used to listen to that one a bunch. And yeah, I didn't realize that was like a fucking series almost.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, and which is another frustrating thing that I always heard them. This was another band, much like Refused and or Propaganda, that anytime I heard them on a compilation, I was like, "Damn, this is great," but didn't check them out for some reason or another. That at different parts of my life, I did delve into that. I just was like, "Whoa, I've been missing out." You know what I mean? And Bracket was that until just the past couple of years, which is crazy to me because they're on one of my favorite labels, and like no, like I don't know why I doubted it. I don't know
Yeah.
why I would have doubted it, because I loved every song I heard by them. And then the more you go into them, the more you're like, wow, that's pretty good. But I don't want to keep it too much longer, buddy, because
No,
I
no,
know
no,
that we
no.
both
I'm
got a couple
sorry.
of hard outs. I
You're
don't
just
go on about bracket all day.
no, you're just bringing up so many memories. I'm trying to see if Short Music for Short People is on
It is
Spotify.
not on Spotify. They have a playlist that says that it's the same songs, but it's not all the same
It's
songs.
not. It's
I will
like
I
there's
will
a
rip it, bro. I have that album. I will rip it and I will fucking put it on Google Drive for you tonight.
no, because legitimately that album has one of my favorite Green Day songs on it. That like acoustic song they
And then
have.
I'll meet you at
Dude,
the
just like
Burger Arena.
the melody in that, and it just has this like it just they just kind of like showcase that vibe of fucking we're bored, we got nothing to fucking do, we're pissed off at life, let's just go and get drunk or some shit like that.
That was another one that I listened to on loops, just nonstop. That never got old to me. That album never gets old to me. Every time a song comes up, like "Let's Make Hand Grenades" by Offspring, or fucking 7 Seconds to the End of the World by Pennywise, like shit like that. Like fucking, I didn't love Gutter Mouse. Like that was the thing that kind of frustrated me, was like there's so many awesome bands on there that I was like, man, that's awesome. But like the bands that I loved that kind of missed for me. It was so frustrating because I had to listen to all these bands that I didn't really know. It was kind of silver lining, I guess. Essentially,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't love what Guttermouth did, but I also found out about No Fun at All.
Yeah, I found out a
I've never
lot
heard
of
of that band.
I found out a lot of bands because of that album.
Yeah, yeah.
And also it was fun too because it's like if you didn't like a song, it'd be over in like 20 seconds.
I would like to see them do that again with like new, like Masked Intruder would be cool to see. Like I would like to see newer bands, or even
That'd be
Sum 41 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
that'd be
Sum
great.
41.
Oh, dude, that would be great if they brought back Short Music for Short People.
We should try to put that together. I'll email Fat Mike.
I want to honestly, I want to fucking that's why I want to get more into the music. I'd love to be putting out cuz like we talk about it so much on here, like how fucking dope are compilation albums and stuff. Like I would love to fucking produce mixtapes and compilation albums. Oh, Mads asked, we should definitely do this for a future episode, but he was asking like top 5 British artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
Frank Turner.
yeah, we don't have a lot of time tonight, but we'll definitely put that in the queue for episodes in the future cuz that would be a fun one cuz my favorite punk band, I guess if we're getting technical, like my favorite hardcore punk band, Gallows, they're British, so I know I'd listen to a bunch of British musicians and shit, so we'll definitely get into that in the future, Mads. What I wanted to so my number one, which you've already stated as your number 5, is Fat Lip by Sum 41, and we already kind of went over it, but I just think, from my perspective, and like the time period of of the pop punk that I listen to, because now, honestly, dude, this is why I love doing this goddamn show. Because you and me are like similar enough that the show's great, but we're different enough that we can like bring new shit to each other. And like you made me, like I knew there was like poppy punk, pop-ish punk that preceded the shit I listened to, but I don't know if I fully realized how much of it was still like so similar to the genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why doing this one this week was so fucking fun. But like for me and my sensibility and the pop punk I like Fat Lip to me is basically the quintessential pop punk song. Which I will, after talking this out, I will make a slight addendum, I think is the word.
Yeah.
So, because like I said, two big pillars of pop punk is like I suck, I'm a loser, I stink, and that's just how it is. Let's try to have fun with that. And the other pillar, like I said before, boys rule, girls drool. And so this one, Fat Lip, is like the quintessential I'm a fucking loser, but I'm still having a good time. And then My Friends Over You is the quintessential girls suck song.
Yeah.
Like if we were going, I'm a number one, I'm a loser pop punk song, Fat Lip. Number one, girl suck song, All Killer. Or I'm sorry, I can't fucking talk.
Dude, no, this
My
is
Friends Over You.
That's a great point because GSF by MXPX, one of my honorable mentions, is one of the lines in the song is "Girls ain't no good anymore anyway." Like they're just like literally saying exactly what you're saying. They're saying girls ain't no good.
And that's because of what happened to me at 7 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah, it's like GSF.
I was driving down St. Mark Street, took a left.
You know where that Arby's is. I missed the turn, so I had to turn around in the parking lot.
Oh, no. That gets confused with the other Arby's. I meant the one by John's house.
One with the big cowboy hat.
So yeah, man, we already talked about it, but yeah, I do think Fat Lip is the quintessential pop punk song in my opinion. But god damn it, dude, is My Friends Over You a very close second.
Right, it's hard. Like I said, I think either one of our top 5 most likely could be interchangeable any day of the week, and even add some newer songs or something like that. But there's I think Sum 41 is a band that like took the genre much like Blink-182 and kind of like and kept going. Like not that they weren't also around the same time as some of those other bands early on, but like a band like, again, like you said, like just making certain tweaks or like certain reps or differences into the songs, you kind of realize like how much you can open it up and how much you can expand on something like a genre, and like the efficiency of the bands later on, like Newfound Glory or Sum 41 or Blink-182, and you realize like, oh shit, there's more to the genre. Come on now. There's more to the genre than just like you don't have to separate those aspects. You can add them together and like put a breakdown in and put a different chorus, and like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, that's the funny thing about if you listen to Newfound Glory and that album specifically that like My Friends Over You is on.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, the shit I was talking about before, like with 4 Year Strong, like Easy Core, and some of these like pop punk bands that kind of like include breakdowns and stuff like that. You can hear the beginnings of that in those Newfound Glory songs. So like on the chorus of My Friends Over, or like the post chorus pre-verse, whatever the fuck, where it's like boom, where he's like and the drums and shit are just like doom da da doom da doom da. It's like
Very big.
yeah,
You know?
it's like it's got this slight heaviness to it that is like a nod to a hardcore band or something
And
without actually being heavy.
It's I would attribute this, and not to sound like a fucking old, like some dipshit historian or something like that, but I would say that it had to have something to do with the Warp Tour. Do you know what I mean? Like these bands playing on a lot of these same festivals and stuff like that with hardcore and other bands that they almost melded into the same things, because a lot of those bands, like Every Time I Die went from, I mean, not that they weren't singy before, but they became way more melodic, or you know what I mean? Again, for lack of a less pretentious word, but they became more singy than screamy. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe they were hanging out with fucking again, NoFX was actually friends with Good Charlotte, but I was just the bitter dickhead that's like, no, they're fucking way more punk than you. Like, take your freaking shirt off, fucker.
I think it has. I bet you it has something to fucking do with it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense too. And then you start. I think also too. I think that helps more from the fan standpoint because, anyone who's in a band, it's not like you only listen to the style of music your band plays. You listen to a whole bunch of shit. But at the end of the day, you got like even a band like NoFX who are fucking punk as fuck. They still need to sell records. They still need to get people giving a fuck about them.
Right.
So like when I think something like Warp Tour, where you can go see a pop punk band, you could go see like a dance pop band, you could go see like a fucking grindcore band. You could see every genre of band. So now it's not as lame. Like I remember, dude, do you know the Acacia Strain?
Yes. Yeah. I did not know how to say it until you just said it.
When I was at Warp Tour, I went to go see the Acacia Strain because my buddy really liked them. And I don't really like listen to them, but after seeing them live, I respect the fuck out of them. Their live show is unreal. And I saw this dude, like, your quintessential, like, not fat, but not in shape hardcore guy who's fucking doing spin kicks and punching dudes in the head in the pit, and the dudes who get punched in the head are happy about it. Like one of those dudes, we saw him fucking trying to murder people, and then we finished watching Acacia Strain. We go over to this one stage. I don't know if they did it like at your Warp Tour, but at ours they would have a bunch of like the smaller stages. They would have like two stages right next to each other, and they would like go back and forth while one band would play. The other band would set up, so there'd be no downtime.
Right.
And so we're waiting for Enter Shikari to start playing, and there's this poppy as fuck band called The Ready Set playing. And I look over, and it's the giant dude fucking punching people in the head from Acacia Strain is just in the Ready Set crowd singing every goddamn word to the song. So I think like an environment like, that's why I miss Warp Tour so much, is like an environment like Warp Tour really breeds like that diversity of genres, and it's like it's okay to go see a Casey Strain in the morning and then go see the Ready Set in the afternoon. Right. And I think when there's more broader acceptance of like different genres like that, bands can be more experimental and not fear that their audience is going to completely abandon them, because that shit happens. Like I was talking. You see it in streaming a lot of time. Like people streaming video games, they'll start playing one game a shitload, and then they'll be like, "All right, I've been playing Fortnite a whole bunch. Now I'm gonna try to start playing like Warzone." And then all their fans are just gonna be like, "Well, no, you're not playing the thing I like, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here."
Right.
So it's like shit like that creates a more diverse opinion of people, so you can. What is going on, Pat? You're giggling like a son of a bitch.
Nothing.
Is Dom just flashing you behind the fucking?
She's just making me blush.
Okay.
We're just a couple of kids that are in love.
She's showing you.
I'm just so excited. I know how to say Acacia Strain now.
Fuck yeah! All right, so we got to wrap this up. I gotta piss and go set up for a fucking Royal Rumble stream.
I got a kitty cat to deal with. I don't know what's going on with this fat bottom girl over here.
Yeah, you got You got a fuzzy pussy over there. You got to fucking tame.
Gotta tame this puss.
But so we're talking all about pop punk. We talked about our lists, and we will. I'll send. I'll make a whole one playlist with all of these songs because we have like all the different playlists. But I'll make a playlist with all these songs. I'll leave it in the comments of this video. You guys can check it out. If you're listening to the podcast, just search top 5 pop punk songs. What about Pat and Andy? You'll find it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now that we got that settled. Pat, I gotta ask you. What about next week?
Well, Andy, I think I like this. I like what we're doing here with the top 5. I think we could keep that going. And I'm gonna open it up a little bit, and I'm just gonna say,
You're gonna open up this pit.
I'm gonna, in a sense, yeah, because I wanna leave it a little bit more up to let's take the hyphen out of it. Let's just say top 5 metal songs.
Okay.
Metal.
And
that's what you determine when you say metal and you think this metal song gets me fucking hyped.
Okay.
What's your top 5? We'll include our honorable mentions as well.
I already got 2 of them.
Good.
Ooh.
And I'm talking about like, obviously there is up to, it's not saying that you can't say metalcore band or
No, just for me, when I personally say metal, it's very different than like metalcore or hardcore or so. No, I'm excited about this because metal is also a genre I don't like. Metal specifically, or at least my perspective of metal, I don't listen to it a shitload. I more listen to like hardcore and metalcore.
I'm excited. This is gonna
I'm excited too.
This is going to be, I think this is going to probably, this again, much like I said before, this is going to kind of open it up a little bit more to where it's going to be more than just, like I know this band or whatever. This is going to be, I think, over more years. I think this is not going to be, because maybe you didn't have necessarily a metal phase. So this is good.
Yeah. No, this too will span a good stretch of years.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. I think this doing metal this same way. What happened?
Nothing.
Somebody pounding off. And then maybe British artists on Wednesday.
Yeah. Mad said that already.
Yeah, that's what I was agreeing with.
Yeah, but you're like 20 minutes late.
Could any of our No, I remember you saying that. Could any of our Wait, what did he say big tune for?
What?
He also said he gave me some respect earlier. You didn't tell me that. Oh, because he called me a dick long after that. I'm just catching up on the chat right now. I'm gonna hang out here and I'm gonna read the chat. You guys, you can do whatever you'd like. Go swimming, maybe take a walk or something.
All right, this has been fucking awesome. I'm very excited to figure out my top 5 metal songs. Pat, thank you so much. I have to go piss and watch the Royal Rumble. You're the fucking man, dude.
I saw you squirming. That's why I was stretching.
I have to piss so bad. All right. Have a good one. Be nice. Don't be dick. Always remember, be about it, bitches. Bye-bye.
Bye.